Tonight, this eve, ladies and gentlemen, on this Sunday night, the 19th of May, the year 2024, Common Era, a day that represents, as I always remind you, 170 days until the election. 170 days. If that doesn't frighten you, if you don't immediately feel your blood curdle, your skin horripilate, your body tense and wax rubescent, then you are dead. You are clinically not with us anymore, because anybody who does not recognize what this means, it is indeed over for you. If you don't recognize the absolute threat that this poses to our constitutional republic. Ladies and gentlemen, let me thank you for being with us. Let me say to you a hearty hello and a high old silver and a welcome, one and all. Please, please, I beg you, I ask, I beseech, entreat, and importune you to make sure that you are indeed subscribed, or as Tiffany A. Henyer would say, subscribe. To subscribe. And she is, without a doubt, such a delight. Such an incredible delight, my friend. But before we begin, let me ask you right now to pay deep and clear and most, and this, with all that is talking about and all that is happening regarding COVID and all of this post-COVID stuff, when we fought and clawed and begged and asked to recognize the fact of our our ability to use whatever medicines we wanted. Do you remember the ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine controversy? Do you remember this? And people were saying, well, how do I know? How do I get this? What do I do? Do I know somebody? This is going to happen again. And you can take care of all of that in advance right now before it starts by paying very, very, I'm serious, very close attention to these critical words. So, dear friends, pay attention. It blows my mind that more people aren't talking about this, that everyone's not talking about this. The fact is that on Thursday, March 21st, the court ruled that the FDA must delete every social media post addressing the use of ivermectin for treatment or prevention of COVID-19. Now, it's been determined that the FDA lied in their demonizing of ivermectin and other effective drugs for the last 4 years, vindicating doctors like Dr. Peter McCullough, who stood strong despite every cancellation campaign. But the question is, okay, how do I get ivermectin or hydroxychloroquine, HCQ? Most doctors still won't even consider prescribing it. Remember, there will be a next time. And the wellness company's contagion emergency kit, complete with the McCullough protocol, has you covered. The only one of its kind, this prescription emergency kit provides you with a carefully selected assortment of effective medications for COVID-19 and other respiratory illnesses. Ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, HCQ, Z-Pak, Tamiflu, and budesonide, along with a nebulizer, so you can rest easy knowing that you have emergency meds on hand, along with a guidebook for safe use. The wellness company's contagion emergency kit is a must-have. Go to twc.health/Lionel and grab your contagion emergency kit right now. That's twc.health/Lionel and use code Lionel to save $30 and free shipping at checkout. Kits are only available in the U.S. I hope you paid attention to that, my friend. I don't know what I need to say other than that. But let's get down to brass tacks and have a little fun. As you know, I have been suggesting to you, dear friends, from the beginning, that I have been telling you that when certain folks are unable to say certain things, I think it is cause for raucous hilarity. And somebody might say, well, you're picking on these people who, and I don't know why people say this, but say, well, because they're black. I'm thinking, what? That's why you think it's funny? Well, it seems like you're picking on people who are black. I'm thinking, I'll pick on anybody who I think says something stupid, irrespective of whether you're black. I call them the way they see them. And if I hear something funny, if I hear somebody say something which is completely devoid of any kind of rational connection to literacy or sanity, I'm going to point it out. I don't care who it is. Doesn't matter to me. Doesn't matter at all. Does that make sense? I hope it does. I think it does. It should make sense. Well, let me give you an example, dear friends. Let me give you an example. This was one, and we know her, and she's just a doll. She's just a doll. But I hope you saw this. This was a piece that was stated by our own Marjorie Taylor Greene, and I want to bring this one to your attention. And see, let me bring this to your attention. And here she is wearing her glasses. She's got her glasses on, and those are good spectacles. When you want to read. And I want you to listen to me, listen to Kara. And I'm not even going to point this out. I'm not even going to point it out. And I'm going to have you listen and see if you notice anything incorrect and erratum of sorts regarding anything that she has said. Okay? So listen up.
This historical evidence is overwhelming that the founding fathers intended impeachment to be used to deal with the commission of indictable crimes and the abuse of power, corruption, and injury to the nation caused by public officials, among others.
Did you hear anything at all about that? Anybody? I'm not even going to point it out. Did you hear it? If you didn't hear it, I don't know what to say. Did you hear it? Ladies and gentlemen, Gracie loves George indictable. Not indictable, indictable. Well, as we say, ladies and gentlemen, bless her heart. Bless her heart. Now, I'm sorry. Indictable? Marjorie, please. Come on, girl. Come on. Come on. You should know better than that. Okay? Now, let's go to some other great ones. Okay? This is, you mentioned the lashes. This is the lashes. And this was a statement that was made, which I find so fascinating. This is on, I'm sorry, I should have, I'm adding these. I should add them before, but I was caught elsewhere. This is Jake Tapper, who I despise. This is with Ms. Crockett. And he is asking her flat out, what precisely was the racist statement made regarding your lashes? What exactly was racist about it? Listen to this beaut.
Have since called her racist, Congresswoman Greene. I want to understand your perspective of this. Do you think her going after your eyelashes, that in itself is racist?
Now, by the way, lest you misunderstand, I think her presentation, her eloquence, braviloquence at times, her ability to explicate and to expatiate the particular point she has to make is absolutely perfect. So she in no wise suffers in that particular realm. Let me go back here and thank our good friend Gracie for that. Okay, now listen to her explanation.
I think her specifically doing it to me, yes, that was the intent.
The intent of and she has them on now. The Cardi B lashes, those lashes. The intent was racist.
As has been stated, women wear makeup, we wear lashes, we wear all types of things to beautify ourselves.
Things to beautify? Okay. That's true. Lashes, makeup, sometimes cosmetic surgery, wigs, hair treatments, all types of wigs, contact lenses, sometimes surgery itself, or, Search Juvederm, yep, wigs, all types of accoutrement, indeed, to beautify. That is correct.
But MAGA has historically
MAGA, Make America Great Again. MAGA, Trump supporters, MAGA is a movement.
been on social media doing the things where they're saying, oh, she's black with lashes and nails and hair, and so she's ghetto. And
she's black with lashes and nails and hair and is ghetto. Did you know that? Had you heard that combination? Was that it?
And so to me, this was her buying into that rhetoric and trying to amplify this for the MAGA crowd. And
for the MAGA crowd. And by the way, that's you. That is you, my friend.
So, yeah, I absolutely think that she only did it to be racist towards me.
Because it was towards you, or because it was eyelashes? So in that sense, it's kind of like, in your view, buying into a racist trope.
It is buying into a racist trope, but the reality is that women of all colors wear lashes.
Right. No, I know. Yeah. That's why I was asking. Yeah.
So here's the question I have, and maybe you can help me. Let's assume that AOC, and I guess you can argue as far as, I don't know, into race and whether people of color, I've never understood what the hell that even means in the first place. But anyway, but let's just assume that there is and there she is. Lo and behold, there she is. Someone else, let's say Nancy Pelosi. And Nancy Pelosi, for whatever reason, decides to wear these extremely hideous, these silly, it's not just lace, but this, they're like caterpillars. Okay, let's be honest about this. But let's assume that Nancy Pelosi were to wear this, or wear some exaggerated whatever. Do you not think that Marjorie Taylor Greene would have hesitated for a second by saying, yeah, maybe if you took those things off, those lashes, you could read the book? Nancy, do you think so? Or do you think that her racism is so virulent, so vile, so directed that it only applies specifically in this particular case to someone who happens to be black? I mean, do you believe that? Oh, because it has been, and you know and I know, it has been a favorite associated, a favorite connection with African American demographics, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Absolutely. So that's it. It's racist. Racist again. It's racist again. You see, this is the part that gets me. Can you just get through something without, would it kill you? If I took the racist word away, would you have anything to say to Marjorie Taylor Greene with anything? Would you have any problem, any objection? Anything about her policy, anything about her statements, any misstatement, mischaracterization of anything? I wonder if we would, because I think that word is the blunderbuss. It's the shotgun. It's the event. It's this thing that allows everyone just to come forward. It's this thing. It's a racism. It's racism. Who is that woman with the hat? Remember her for a while? I don't know where the hell she was. She had like a purple cowboy hat on. Remember, she wore a cowboy hat. She wore a cowboy hat, and it was like a purple. She looked like Cowboy Bob, like Fishburne's character in Pee-wee's Funhouse. You know that Cowboy Bob or something. It was this weird thing, and it was like purple. Now, what if she said, if you take off that cowboy hat, maybe it wouldn't, be that. Maybe your cowboy hat's too tight. Would she be able to say that's racist? Do you think, wait a minute, cowboy hat? Let me check this. Cowboy, are cowboy hats in any way associated with a black head apparel, any headwear, hats? No. Purple hats. Wait a minute. Pimp hats. There you go. See? Do. Now, you know what I know. You can say, what does that mean? That means we know the language. We know how it works. Okay. Let me ask you something. What if somebody were to say to John Kennedy? Let me ask you a question. What if Jasmine Crocker were to say, well, I tell you what, Senator Kennedy. Stop right there. Would that be racist? Or would that be you're imitating him? Would that be racist if he were to say those words? John McGuire couldn't get higher said, I think with Green, it is more of a style issue. I've met legit racists with exceptional charm that can almost sell you on their nonsense. Are you saying that that's Ms. Green's thing? I will tell you, it is a reference to a lash, which is worn, identified with primarily with African American. I don't know, but it is you have to be blind or stupid or not to know that that's what it is. However, it's what she's wearing, and I'm talking to you because I first and foremost hate you. Let's assume there is a Jewish fellow who is wearing a yarmulke or a kippah or a kippah, depending upon how you pronounce it. That's the technical term for the yarmulke. And let's say somebody were to say, well, maybe your beanie's too tight. Now, is that anti-Semitic? Is it? Or is it me commenting on something that you're wearing and I can't stand you? So I'm going to comment about something you're wearing. John McGuire again says, by the way, don't think Green is racist, just lacks presentation. I honestly, you're going to say something, I don't think anybody's a racist. Black or white. I'm telling you. Nope. And you're going to find fault with that. You're going to find great fault with that. I find nobody is a racist. What am I talking about? When people have beefs with each other because of their race or their religion or their whatever it is, it's not because I hate Jews or I hate blacks or I hate whites. That's not it. That's not it at all, in the least. What it is, which is very interesting, what it is there is something about a black issue or a Jewish issue or a white issue or a Southern issue or a Catholic issue or whatever it is. That's the point. That's the thing. If somebody were to say, hey, Zuckerberg, maybe the next time you get that bowl cut, that haircut, maybe you might want to consider, now, what is that called? I'm going to call you any name, anything that pisses you off. Hey, Four Eyes. Hey, Tubbo. Hey, maybe if you, whatever. And it's not that I hate black people. It's I hate you and you happen to be black. And I'll say whatever you want. How about this? Maxine Waters with that wig. Remember her wig was too tight? What's the first thing you look at when you see a Joy Reid and you're pissed off at her? What do you want to say? It's that thing on her head. Same thing with the Whoopi Goldberg. How about Joy Behar? What do you talk about Joy Behar? What's the first thing you say? You're pissed off at Joy Behar. What do you say about Joy Behar? She's 90 years old. And plus, I'll drive her crazy. You don't hate old people. You hate Joy Behar. And that'll piss her off. You say whatever it is that people, and if you're upset, if you're thinking, Israel, I don't like what they're doing with the Gaza, Palestinians, oh, you're just an anti-Semite, or you're an anti-Arabist. No, I'm not. It's the subject matter. Does this make sense to you? I think a man wrestling against little girls in a wrestling match is goddamn stupid. And I think it's a bunch of freaks doing that. Am I transphobic? No. I think men wrestling with women are stupid. Has nothing to do with that. Did you follow what I'm saying? Johnny Maz says the words racist and anti-Semitic are running neck and neck as the most overused words I've ever heard. Indeed. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter. It's stupid. It's not racist. No, congratulations, Jasmine. She hates you. Not because you're black, but because she thinks you're crazy and stupid. And when you say, what is this shit? You're not going to start this shit. That's the part that, what did you call it, ghetto? You might want to start with that one. Why aren't you talking about that? What is this? This is like one of these crazy Karens at the airport. You want to talk about that one? No, because that's you. This is so stupid. But I love it. I love it in a very weird and strange way. I love it. Want to hear some more stuff? I got some more stuff for you. You can hear. Want me to hear some? I got some good stuff for you. How about this? Let me see what else I've got here. Let me see. I've got some. Oh, here's a good one. As you know, when I hear this man, my blood curdles. This is one of the most stupid people, bar none. And the issue is the battle for America's worst mayor, Tiffany A. Henyer, number one. Because I got the T and the receipts. I still don't know what the hell she's talking about. Anyway, this is my favorite. This is our own. This is Mayor Eric Adams.
We have a brand.
Here, by the way. Oh, watch this. Here he is standing here with his aviators. And the man to his left, notice the accentuated pointed pocket square. Overdone. They look a little bit like Jasmine's lashes, if you think about it. Very, very pronounced. I've never been stylish. I've never been like that. Believe it or not, Eric is Eric has almost the Tucker Carlson little peekaboo pocket square, which, by the way, Tucker stole from, in essence, John Kennedy, who had this little tiny little point. You barely saw it. That was John Kennedy's pocket square. This little tiny point. So everybody's out there. They're wearing their shades. Eric, of course, has the mayor of New York. He's got his aviators on, and so does the feller to his left and your right. Now listen to Eric, and he thinks he's funny. He catches himself for something that he thinks is funny right now. Here he is, and he insults the people from the great state of Kansas.
We have a brand. New York has a brand. And when people see it, it means something. Mm-hmm. You know, when we go there, it's not, Kansas doesn't have a brand. You know?
See, that's funny.
You know, when you go there, okay, you're from Kansas. No. Well, you know what? But New York has a brand. It has a brand.
A brand? Is it a brand or a brand? See, I'm sorry. I'm a real nut, an absolute nut for pronunciation. I am priggish. I am perhaps punctilious. I just, oh my God. Words that just end. There's a Fox feller. I've not seen him in a while, but he's the United States, the Attorney General. I mean, I think he's still there. It's the worst. The worst. He just doesn't, he's not speaking the word. I used to go crazy with George Bush. It's not nuclear. Nuclear is not a word. It's ever pertaining to a nucleus. Well, Jimmy Carter says it. I don't give a damn if Jimmy Carter says it. It's wrong. I would go crazy. Stop saying nuclear. Why? It's wrong. Race didn't matter. Didn't matter. It's that thing. It's that word, that thing that they use all the time. It just drives me We got some other good stuff here, by the way. But Tiffany Henyard, the best. Absolutely incomprehensible. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Madame Stamp, who is the prototypical, the doyenne of pronunciation, says these Democratic mayors need to research the origins of KKK and Planned Parenthood's founder, Margaret Sanger. Oh, yes. Madam Stamp, rather, thank you. Would you like, they don't want to hear about Margaret Sanger, about how basically this is absolute eugenics like you cannot believe. This is eugenics, plain and simple. And remember, the Dixiecrats, the Democrats created the Klan. Do you remember, dear lady, and thank you again for your courtesy and kindness. Do you remember the 1850? Of course you do. I think it's 1856. I think it was the first Republican National Convention in Philadelphia. And their point was, they called it the twin pillars of barbarism. One was the whole notion of polyamory. And this is polygamy. They were really, the Mormons, they were, oh God, despise the Mormons. Polygamy and slavery, the twin pillars of barbarism. This was the official position of the Republican Party. Did you know that? Of course you knew that. Why? Because you're a sapient, you're sagacious, and you're most wise. How about some other fun stuff, shall we? Here's one for you. Oh, you're gonna love this one. Here's one of my. Let me see. Where is she? Here's. This is a good one here. Let me see. Where is she? Okay. Let me see. No, it's not it. Let me see. Oh, no. Excuse me. Here it is. Pardon me. I'm so sorry. Here is a woman, but oh, this is a good one. I saved this for you. Oh, where is she? I saved this for you. Here she is. This is good. This is good. Now, by the way, let me explain here. Hang on. Do you know who this is? This is former Facebook and Nike diversity. That's right, diversity manager. She was a former diversity manager at Facebook and Nike, and was sentenced to 5 years in the pokey and 3 months in prison. 5 years and 3 months, in prison for stealing more than $5 million from those companies that had been earmarked for DEI initiatives. Georgia resident Barbara Furlow Smiles, and she's hoping for a furlough, who pleaded guilty to wire fraud in the case in December, stole more than $4.9 million from Facebook, quote, utilizing a scheme involving fraudulent vendors, fake invoices, and cash kickbacks. After being terminated from Facebook, she brazenly continued the fraud as a DEI leader at Nike, where she stole another six-figure sum from the diversity program. Furlow Smiles, who's not all smiles now, used the money she stole to fund a luxury lifestyle in California, Georgia, and Oregon. And this is incredible. She was a lead strategist and global head of employee resource groups and diversity engagement at Facebook, which is of course, as you know, code for bullshit, complete and total, utter, 18-karat bullshit. Now listen to our diversity leader speak to these young people, and maybe you can tell me. There's one phrase here I can't make out what she's saying.
I've always lived a passion-driven life.
A passenger-driven life. Please tell me what she said. I'm serious. She's very good. This one particular phrase, I don't know what she's saying.
Always lived a passion-driven life.
Passage-driven, passenger, past-driven, passenger-driven, passenger-living. One more time. Please help me.
Always lived a passion-driven life.
I don't know what that means. Now look at these three people, and look at they're saying, I am so bored. Yes, can we get a black woman, a black man, Yeah, or I don't know, an Asian and a young white girl wearing some type of thing on her head. Can we get them? And by the way, children, would you please look longingly, please? Would you please look longingly at Miss Smiles, please?
It dates back to just my time in high school. And
Her passenger driven life dates back to her time in high school.
that is what lit that fire in me.
During that time, being passenger driven, it lit a fire in me.
Because I knew intimately what it felt like to be left out.
I knew what it felt like to be left out. And you might be saying, well, are you being left out because you're black? Or are you being left out because, I don't know, but I'm being left out.
And not have a voice. And I said, you know what? My life now on is to make people feel included.
Because I want to make you feel included. I don't know how at Facebook and Nike, but in my passenger life in high school, I thought, oh, God, I'm going to make people feel included. And I haven't. And I'm the person to do it.
To make people feel like they had a voice. I am currently the Global Inclusion Program Manager for our Diversity Engagement team.
What? I am the international voice of racial equality and psychic coordination, social reclamation, and the concatenation of comedy with an ITY.
And I literally am hired to make sure people have a sense of belonging here.
I want you to have a voice and a sense of belonging. And notice the expression. What the fuck is this woman talking about?
It's so fun because in this space, in this work, it's all about just behavior change. And that
it's behavior. And yet I've not been able to articulate one thing.
Takes some time. But when you see people's behavior change because of something that they didn't know, that they now know.
And I don't know what that is. I don't know because it was my passenger change when I was in high school. And I'm trying to milk this baby for as long. And I hope to God they don't look at the records or the receipts. Because I got the tea and the receipts, as Tiffany Henyer would say.
That transform their life. That's the only thing that I need at night. I
have no idea what you're saying.
Makes me super happy. So really be open to opportunities and know that your mind may change.
And whenever you're given access to large sums of cash, understand, don't leave a paper trail. Have friends of yours work in the conspiracy by using all kinds of intricate credit card exchanges to bilk and milk them for everything they are worth.
But won't change is inherently what's inside you, of what you feel like you were destined here to do.
What does that mean? What does that mean? I have no idea. She thinks it's great. And somebody said, I don't know. We did say we hired her. Can you hire a white woman? No. You mean a white woman can't? No. Doesn't a white woman know anything about adversity? No. What are you talking about? What? You're kidding me. We got more good stuff. But first, my friends, as you know, we have other great products for you to be aware of. One of them, which is critical, absolutely critical, is from our important and critical, I'm saying critical a lot, yes, our critical friend regarding a critical product at My Patriot Supply, and you are to go right now to preparewithlionel.com because you know what's going to happen. There is going to come a time when you're going to wish and you're going to thank God you paid attention and took advantage of these incredible deals right now to purchase emergency food. We're not talking about banana chips and jerky. We're talking all varieties of food with a 25-year shelf life. Listen to this. It's no longer a question of if something catastrophic is coming, it's when. And while you still have some control, what are you going to do about it now to prepare Well, your first step is going to my website, preparewithlionel.com. And for a limited time, take $200 off a 3-month emergency food supply. My Patriot Supply is equipped to help you and your family to prepare. They've helped over 2 million families already. These 3-month kits with ready hour foods provide over 2,000 calories every day with 22 varieties and a 25-year shelf life. Breakfast, lunches, dinners, drinks, snacks, everything. And they're sealed inside 6 rugged waterproof buckets, and they're over 120 pounds of food. So take advantage right now and go to preparewithlionel.com, preparewithlionel.com. One more time, preparewithlionel.com. Now, my friends, I think one of the key aspects, the key recommendations, and the key critical points to be noted always whenever you speak regarding anything involving race or racism, community, whatever the subject is, you must be as vague as possible. Speak in general platitudes and never even approximate anything even vaguely resembling reality. Just speak in drivel. Say words over and over again, as many as you possibly can. And the bigger and the more, how do I say this? The bigger and the more confusing, the better. And that's the most important thing. The more critically confusing the words are, the better. Because you know who used to be great at that was Jesse Jackson years ago. Jesse would say something, and the commonality of the community, that kind of the perspicacity, the contumacity. And he would say, oh, okay, I don't know what the hell he's talking about, but it didn't really matter. Because as you know, there is no subject. This is all bullshit. Not that racism is bullshit, not that it doesn't exist, but the people that are getting to try to single-handedly stop this, well, that's another story. That's another story completely. Now, let's go back to have some fun here, shall we? Where should we start? Well, here we go. Let's bring out Joe Biden. Now, Joe Biden, what they do is they will take Joe and they will pump him up with Adderall. Adderall, is a stimulant, and it's used by him to allow him to try his best to speak rationally, or as much as possible to speak without that usual soporific type of phrase. Also, you got to watch out his eyes. I want you to notice his eyes and the squint. Can you see the squint? The squint's the hard part. This is him. He is dead asleep. But the Adderall is helping him. Now here he is. I believe he's at a predominantly black college, and he's speaking. And remember, he's doing this because he thinks this is going to make an impact with somebody.
It's natural to wonder if democracy you hear about actually works for you.
Now, this is as loud as it gets, so please, I'm so sorry.
Democracy you hear about actually works for you. What is democracy?
Good question.
If black men are being killed on the street.
Black men are being killed on the street. Do you hear that one? Black men are being killed on the street. Black men are being killed on the street. Now, I'm not in a position to necessarily refute that. I'm not going to say, well, that doesn't make any sense. But I think if he looks at the number of black men who are killed in the street, you've got to ask the question, well, why are they being killed? And I had a number here. I had a very interesting number. And for you, this was, he delivers this at Morehouse College. And he missed the point regarding some fascinating data. I'm going to give you this. They're really terrible about black men and the number of black men, which somebody wants to talk about, killing black men. Nobody ever wants to discuss that in the least. That doesn't, okay, I can't find it. But let's go back to this. It gets better.
What is democracy? Betrayal of broken promises still leave black communities behind. What is democracy? You have to be 10 times better than anyone else to get a fair shot.
See the eyes? Has he heard about DEI? You got to be 10 times better to get a fair shot? Did you hear that? 10 times better. I know what he's trying to say. I know what he's, but is that, we have programs, you have students, Asian students, others who were suing, trying to overturn DEI, which is nothing but affirmative action, not even affirmative action on steroids. It is the quintessential racist protocol. And he's talking about something that I don't even think, I'm not saying it doesn't exist anymore, but I think this speech is like 30 to 40 years too late or too old.
Most of all, what does it mean, as we've heard before, to be a black man who loves his country?
To be a black man who loves his country. What does it mean? Joe knows.
Even if it doesn't love him back in equal measure.
Even if it doesn't love him back. What does it feel like to be a black man who loves his country, but the country doesn't love him back? What do you think about that? What do you think about that? You think that's responsible speech on his part? Do you think so? Do you think that's responsible? Do you hear that clapping? After this speech and this squint, listen to the clapping.
Doesn't love him back in equal measure.
Well, it was cut off, obviously, but dear Lord. Now, one more speech. This is one which you never, ever, ever should do. For some reason, people believe that when you are trying to provide an apologia, you should go on social media like Diddy did. And Diddy, now, when I looked at it, first of all, this is so stupid. Whoever says, listen to me, do not go on social media. Do not do anything. Let it go. Everything you say, everything makes it worse. Now, he doesn't realize this. He doesn't understand this. He thinks he's going to smooth talk you, or somebody told him to do it. He's too close to the camera. He looks very insincere. And then all these, quote, body language expert people, which is a complete and total fraud. Then they come out of the woodwork and they try to analyze this. But listen to what old Diddy said about this.
It's so difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life.
Now, first of all, he beat the living shit out of this woman. Now, let's talk about her dark lives. You see what he says? It's about him. This is so tough for me. Right off the bat. See? Didn't even say anything. He talking about it's me. Boy, things are tough. This woman who's being I am absolutely beating her silly. I am pounding her head in. I am beating and hitting and kicking and slamming and taking Cassie and dragging her around like she's a rag doll. That's exactly what I'm doing. She just doesn't mean anything. Did you see what I did? I own her. This is the most incredibly. This is Ms. Cassandra Ventura is being dragged around like she's an animal. But he's going through hell.
Sometimes you got to do that. I was fucked up.
Sorry about that. Please. These are his words and not mine, okay? But he's an expert witness when it comes to that.
I mean, I hit rock bottom.
You know who else hits rock bottom? All the young women who have been involved in trafficking and people who've been abused and people who have been recorded. People and women who have been recorded on tape listen to me on tape, recorded and humiliated and owned and blackmailed and drugged and you get what I'm saying? That's pretty tough too, but nothing as bad as you, Diddy.
But I make no excuses.
Well, thank you. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. You see, he hasn't even nothing. Has anything grabbed you so far? You got to grab somebody in the first sentence.
My behavior on that video is inexcusable.
That's true. Yeah. Okay. Tell me something I don't know.
I take full responsibility for my.
Well, thank you. I take full responsibility. Well, no shit, Sherlock. Yeah. You hear what he's saying? He's saying nothing. What he's saying is, I am such a man on TikTok. The first thing he said, I tell you, I to Cassie Ventura, and I have directed my lawyers. I've told my lawyers, Ben Brofman, you pay that woman whatever she wants, whatever makes her whole. We are not going to go to court. We are not going to fight this. We are not going to refute this. I am going to stand up and do the right thing. And I'm going to put all of my efforts and all of my attention into making this young woman whole again, as much as I do to my planes and my properties and my bling and all of this crap and living this myth of my being a billionaire.
My actions in that video. I'm disgusted.
No, you're caught. You're not disgusted. Last time I saw you, you didn't look disgusted. You were on the phone saying, hey, where's my stuff?
I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted.
No, you weren't. No, were you disgusted here when you're kicking her the 1, 2, 3, 4 times? Were you disgusted in each of those times when you grabbed her by the hair? When you came back and kicked her again? Were you disgusted when you dragged her like a rag doll? Were you disgusted in each of those instances or disgusted collectively?
Now, I went and I sought out professional help.
Okay. Did she get professional help? Did you tell us? Did you send her? Did you give her money for therapy for the rest of her life? For the humiliation? How do you think she feels? How do you think she feels for the rest of her life? On posterity, being in posterity, the woman who was manhandled and just beaten and savage and ravaged by you. How do you think she's doing? How's her mental health doing? How's her mental wherewithal?
I had to go into depth.
What was Mrs. Dell's got a point. I wonder how his adult daughters feel looking at
therapy. I'm going to rehab.
Going to rehab. First of all, everybody's going to rehab. You and Amy Winehouse are going to rehab, going to therapy. Again, we don't give a shit about you. We don't care. He's trying to don't worry, folks. I'm okay.
Had to ask God for his mercy and grace.
Oh, God. God. This is like when baseball players do the sign of the cross before they bat. Leave God out of this. How dare you? This is sacrilege.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you. How many minutes? I can't put a timer on this. Thank you.
But I'm committed to be a better man each and every day.
We don't care about you. See, that's the thing. He acts like come on, Diddy. Do it for us. Clean up your life for us so that we can get our hero back.
I'm not asking for forgiveness.
Good. First of all, you're going to, I hope you're asking Cassie for forgiveness, not me, not us.
I'm truly sorry.
Sorry, that's good. Okay, now, what do you think about that? What would you advise old Diddy? First of all, don't do that. They were going to forget the whole thing. They were going to forget it. It's 2000, whatever it is. They're not going to charge him. Statute of limitations. It's over with. From the law's point of view, let it go. But no. See, he thinks he's going to outsmart you. No, I'm Diddy. I'm so good. Unless somebody told him to do this. Another thing too is he has the best lawyer in the world, Ben Brafman. If I were Ben, I'm saying, Diddy, don't do this. Why? First of all, you're going to be admitting stuff. What did you just admit something? What is my defense? How about this? I didn't do that. Are you lying? Well, he never mentioned her. Think about this. He never mentioned her. He doesn't care about her. It's about him, how he's doing, his mental wherewithal. That's the part. That's the part which absolutely blows my mind. It's incredible. It's this thing that he says. I can't put it into words. I can't put it into words. I can't. And it goes to show you, nobody's listening to me because, well, they don't. Listen to what I'm telling you. If anybody wanted to get involved in this, they would go into, you'd be bringing up the Kardashians, Britney Spears, the cabal of that. You would see Oprah, Tyler Perry, Steve Harvey, part of these cabal. Then Diddy, Beyonce. Remember years ago with Beyonce, they said, how old is Beyonce? Remember that one? You don't remember that one. Oh, now let me get it. No. Let it go. Let it go. Remember when Beyonce, they said, I don't even think she was pregnant. Oh, no. Remember the pillow? Anybody see that? They said it was a pillow. She got up one time and she was on some show and it looked like she had a pillow that deflated and she bent over like a woman who's pregnant. You've seen a pregnant woman sit down, haven't you? You ever seen it? It's like you can't bend at the waist. It was the most incredible thing anybody. But remember how they went into what was it, Lenox Hill? They redid this entire floor, but everybody was out. Nobody could be a part of it. Who gives a shit? They went crazy over that. The whole Beyonce thing, Jay-Z, and their backgrounds. Do you know the deals they make? The deals they make to bring them into the fold. The murder, Suge Knight, the whole thing with I mean, it just look. I hope you. Everything goes back to, and you can hear it, extortion, blackmail. Remember what Watergate was about. Remember what Watergate. Remember, ask John Dean, what did they really go into the DNC headquarters for? What was it really about? What was it really about? This is the bestest people who do these wonderful stories, how you can be told stuff and you like murmurations of birds. You follow, not you, but the rest, we just follow these stories. This is bigger than anything you can imagine. And somebody is saying, every time you open your mouth, you make it bad for us. Shut up. All Diddy has to do is my lawyers have advised me during dependency, as we are trying to sort through the issues and the facts and the allegations, I have been advised not to speak at this time. When I am able to address you and the public, I will do so when I am given the okay by people who are far more learned, far more experienced, and people that I am paying to represent me and to avail myself of the laws provided for by the Constitution of the United States. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Have a nice day. And that's it. Go away. And then what you do is sit back, lie back. This is for you right now. Think about what's going on in the world. Think about how try to sift through this insanity and put your head on the best pillow ever devised, ever designed, ever thought of by humankind. You ever get those pillows? You ever go to like a really great hotel and you go, it's just great. And these pillows, your head just kind of like, what happened? What happened? You got to kind of double it up and say, what happened? It's like, no. You need a My Pillow pillow. They don't call it My Pillow for nothing. It's My Pillow. It's our pillow. And if you go to mypillow.com, promo code Lionel, mypillow.com, promo code Lionel, you get a free gift from our great friend, the one, the only, the inimitable, the electable, the ineffable, Mr. Mike Lindell. It's time yet again, my friends, to hail and salute our great friends at mypillow.com. And if you use promo code Lionel, you'll get a free gift. No purchase necessary. And yes, I know, a free gift. It's a tautology, so sue me. But first, listen carefully. Check out their $25 extravaganzas. Premium My Pillows, Queen and King, My Pillow 2.0, My Pillow bed sheets, the lowest price ever. Sandals, slides, slippers, 6-piece towel sets, 4-pack dish towel sets. Simply and absolutely unbelievable. So go to mypillow.com/Lionel, mypillow.com, promo code Lionel, or call 800-645-4965 and watch how fast Mike Lindell answers the phone. mypillow.com, simply and absolutely the best. Ladies and gentlemen, it's always an honor to be with you and to spend this evening with you. I want you to know that you are such a delight. You are so special to me and to Mrs. L. You have treated me and treated her with such dignity and respect. We can't thank you enough. If you would be so kind as you always have, Mrs. L is an absolute expert in the sordid world of the music community. That's why her YouTube channel, I put the link right here for you, Lynn's Warriors. Lynn's Warriors. And there's the link. And also, dear friend, this is something which you should avail yourself of as well. This is something which is very simple. This costs you nothing. I will never sell your name or your email or any of that stuff. Never, ever, 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 ever. But sign up for the Lionel Nation, the newsletter, as it were. Hang on to where is this? The Lionel Nation newsletter. Right here, dear friends. Right here. And it's, believe me, it's just my time to talk to you, to write some prose in my own inimitable way. Please sign up for there. There's the link. That's all. So anyway, dear friends, have a great and glorious night. By the way, I did 2 videos today for your perusal and review. One of them I think is so fascinating. It's the issue of how we should accommodate plus-sized flyers. I have no bad feelings towards people who are plus-sized or anything along those lines. I really don't. I have no problem. None. Here's the link. But here's the deal. You may be so plus-sized, you can't sit in a regular seat next to somebody who is made uncomfortable by virtue of your height, or height, as people say, which drives me nuts. Sorry. It's nothing personal. It's just a fact. So this is a video I just put up, and I ask you, please make sure you're subscribed. And also the implications of the fact that 25%, at least, of Gen Z, the Zoomers, have never answered their phone. And there's the link to that as well. Think about that. There's this woman, she's a plus side influencer. Hi, she weighs. I'm sorry, it must be horrible. It must be horrible having to be that size. I don't know how she bathes, with a pool cue and a rag. I have no idea. A stick. Seriously. I always think of hygiene. Hygiene. It's got to be a very, very tough. She's got to. I'm sorry. When you have extra skin, extra folds, and you sweat or you chafe, or you naturally are susceptible to the malodorous, dare I say, funk of deposit. I'm sorry. When it comes to hygiene and the like, it's got to be tough. And people next to you may also find that to be problematic. I'm sorry. It's a reality. I don't think you should be imprisoned. But if I walked into a plane and I'm 8 feet tall and I say, excuse me, yeah, hi, I have to come in on a gurney because I'm 8 feet tall and I can't bend over, I can't walk. So can you get everybody out of the plane, move me in the back, put me on a gurney lengthwise so I can say, and people have to go to the bathroom? Now, how with them? So to what? So too bad. They can walk around or go to the front. I want you to take out all those seats to accommodate me because I'm 8 feet tall, and I don't want to pay you anymore. In fact, I want you to give me it because I'm handicapped. Bullshit. Has nothing to do. And I have a very simple idea. You know, when you were a kid and you go to a ride, and they have that little sign that says, if you're not this tall, you can't go on the ride. They have this little container, this contraption where if you can't put your bag in it, your overnight bag or your overhead bag, you have to check it. They should have a silhouette. And if you cannot fit in this silhouette, you got to pay for 2 tickets. And we have to have a part of certain flights, maybe not all far, maybe they're open, where you can open up the seats as a bench, as a long bench with seats and cushions. So I know it's some of these flights are long, where you're strapped in with double extender, but you do not sit in seats, and you're not going to ruin somebody who's sitting in the middle and you've got 2. No. You can also ask the airline companies to maybe make more room. Have you been to a Broadway show lately? You should see these seats, how tiny they are. I mean, I'm not exactly Lou Alcindor, but I'm thinking, damn, these are like, what were they, made for children? I'm telling you. Just because you are overweight does not mean that the world has to accommodate. It should, of course, maybe accommodate public facilities. Yes, if we can make a door wider or whatever, of course, that's okay. Same thing with people who are in wheelchairs and the like. We should go out of our way. But we're not going to bend over, expend costs at the expense of others just to accommodate you. Your handicap is not a blessing. It doesn't grant you powers. It doesn't make you more amenable to free stuff because you're morbidly obese. I'm sorry. It doesn't work that way. Gwig says, by the way, best Mayor Giuliani received an Arizona indictment at his 80th birthday party last night. I know. Is that really crummy? Did you see Rudy's Amazon wish list? Oh my God. Is this a razor? Did you see that, Gwig? And thank you, Gwig, by the way. Did you see that? A razor? By the way, airliners should charge by the pound. When we go to, we fly and we put our, you put the bag or whatever on the scale, they weigh it. Why? They say, well, every it weighs a lot. You gotta pay more. Well, this guy weighs as much as 2.5 people. Shouldn't this person pay more? Oh, come on. What do you mean? Oh, come on. You told me that weight is important, right? Well, what if you're going to pay me more money, be cheapskate to pay me more money because of my suitcase? You don't think, I'm sorry, but this person over here, if Haystacks Calhoun were traveling, you don't think he should pay more for this? Bobby the Brain Heenan, true story, told me that he used to fly with Andre the Giant. And Andre the Giant had to buy like 2 seats. He had special seats at the bulkhead, at the front, so he could. He got no special accommodation, none. He going to the bathroom, I don't think he could even go. He could. I don't even know how to do this. Do you know? Listen to this. This is. I'm just going to leave it at this. Andre the Giant couldn't use a toilet. He was too big. He was too big. And what did he use? And you've heard this before. The bathtub and other things and he one time, it was horrible. I mean, he really went through hell. He didn't like it. I mean, it was embarrassing. No bed worked. Nothing worked for him, but he didn't get special. It was just, he's 7'4", 7'5", weighs 500 pounds. So anyway, Bobby told me they were in the first class and he's trying to move the seat because he knew how the seats work. He knew buttons you could push to bend them or whatever it was. So this stewardess walks up and says, he goes, "Stewardess, okay, boss. Stewardess." He goes, "Yes, screwdriver." He meant the drink. He wanted a screwdriver in the morning, a little eye opener, just some orange juice and vodka, screwdriver. She brings him a screwdriver, actual tool. He goes, Bobby said, "You bring this man, he's a 7'5" giant, and you bring him tools? What if he asks you for a Bloody Mary?" Anyway, but Andre the Giant didn't get anything special. No. I mean, they would try to make accommodations, for first class because he spent a lot of money in tickets, but no, he's 7'5". He couldn't sit next to anybody. He knew that. He didn't demand that they pay him. And who's this influencer, this plus size? And look, I don't want to get into why people are overweight. That's their problem. God, it must be horrible, okay? But and I know that when you see somebody, the first thing you don't think, thyroid. No, that's not what you think. And those cases exist, to be sure, but not everybody has a thyroid or pituitary or some kind of endocrine problem. You know it, and I know it. It's just one of those things. Anyway. And I'm not I am not at all being unfair. Sorry. What if I had a form of Tourette's and I scream? Because as you know, 3 forms of Tourette's. Number 1 form is tics. Number 2 is OCD. And number 3 is coprolalia, the blurting or saying of inappropriate words. Let's say mine was really severe. Do you think Broadway shows should accommodate me? These people go apeshit or batshit, I should say, crazy. If a cell phone goes off and you want me all of a sudden to start yelling, when they say, "Excuse me," he has Tourette's, again, which is a rarity, but let's just assume. You think the people who paid $300 a ticket don't have any say in this? They have to accommodate my condition? Or they want to give me a free ticket? What? Because what? What if I run around? I have to run around a lot. And my disease is I got to pace. During the play, when people are doing, Hamlet soliloquy, I got to walk around mumbling to myself because that's my thing. Oh, by the way, not only do you have to put up with that, you got to pay me a free ticket. Why? Because I'm screwed up. This doesn't make any sense. Okay? That's all I got to say. What about people who have uncontrollable flatulence? You don't think they have any kind of consideration? You don't think that? You don't think that should be considered? I'm sorry, listen. Is there a special section I could sit in? I'm just warning you. Little heads up. Maybe the balcony? Because I had some sardines today, and it's not pretty. It's not pretty at all. We're talking nerve gas. We're talking sarin quality, okay? Seriously. We're talking bad. Eye-watering. This thing could derail a train. Birds will lose direction. It'll stop clocks. It's seriously. Okay? Anyway. All right, dear friends. Have a great. Look at this, Shelby. Look at Shelby laughing. You know what's so funny? Whenever I do any kind of reference to, let me get it. This is for Shelby. There we go. That's for Shelby. There we go. See that? See that? What a difference a little spit makes. Oh, oh yeah. To be, who did that? Or not? Who did that? Turn the lights on. I'm sorry. Heads up. He who smelted dealt it. Sorry, my friends. See, Shelby, women they find that the funniest. And they're supposed to be they are the dirtiest. They have the most base sense of humor, but they're not allowed to act on it. So that's why they laugh the most. Guys are like, we've been doing pull my finger since we were kids. It's no big deal to us. But women are not allowed to do it. So consequently, they laugh. They absolutely. All right, my friends. Listen, you have a great and a glorious day. Thank you so much. So if you can follow Mrs. L at Lynn's Warriors on YouTube. See you tomorrow at 8 a.m. And until then, my friend, remember the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Da-da.